Welcome to another tutorial on MATLAB. In this series, we are looking into the concept of stateflow and how to implement truth table in stateflow. In this episode, we will see how by taking one decision, we can implement multiple actions. The concept related to the same is discussed in the previous video with a similar example considering a real life scenario. So let's get started on how to implement single decision multiple action part in truth table. As you can see here, we have a truth table which has the conditional table and the action table. Here one decision is being related to one action. Whichever the action that is being defined in this particular decision table, that will be taken care of in the action table like this way. So now let's add some additional actions into this decision and see how it is implemented in truth table. Here we need to add one more data which we will be using as a additional output to see the outcome outside the state flow chart. So because of that, we need to add one additional output variable to verify whether our truth table is working properly or not. So let's add a output variable or output port in the state flow chart. So in this case, the triple Y is the output. Now let's close this and see how we can use that. Now we will be defining the multiple fault condition or multiple fault action, which will tell like whether there is a multiple fault present or not by seeing the newly output variable that we have created. AM represents action for multiple fault. Here triple Y will be equal to 1, which is the output of this state chart. Now let's add the additional action that we have for multiple faults. So AM we will be adding wherever there is multiple faults. Here multiple faults means wherever there is more than one sensor got faulty, there we will be activating the multiple fault part. Here we can use comma to separate both the actions. So first action A4 will be executed and then AM. Now A2 will be executed and AM like this. The main action will be executed first and then multiple action will be executed. As you can see here, we already have added triple Y as one of the outcome of the truth table. So here also we need to update the same variable because when we call this truth table, then we will be getting two outcomes instead of one outcome. That is why we need to update the expectation which we are having while calling the truth table with the faults that we have. So let's update that as well. So now we will be adding the additional variable which could be out1 and we need to put it inside a square bracket. So we need to define this out1 as the output variable from the chart. So here out1, out underscore 1 and triple Y are different variables. The triple Y is being used inside the truth table and the out1 will be used for the state chart. So now we will have two outcomes from the state chart. So here we will be duplicating the display block and we will be connecting to out1 so that we can see the values that will be generated. So here we are getting some error. Why? Because we are getting this error because we have only defined the triple Y in the last column, which is related to the multiple faults, but we need to define the corresponding value in all the remaining actions so that the chart will not be confused what to take in that scenario. So let's update those things. So let's go inside the chart and copy triple Y equal to 1 and paste it in the other states, other actions where we have remaining 5 actions, and there we need to keep this value as 0 because we want to know like whether multiple faults got activated or not by saying 0 or 1 for the corresponding value. So here we are keeping 0 because we will be representing this as not a multiple fault. So that's why we need to update this. Now our table is ready. Now if we simulate, then we are not getting any error. And if you see here, based on our truth table logic, if there is multiple faults, like if fault 1 is 1, fault 2 is also 1. At least if these two conditions got satisfied, like at least two sensors got failed. So this one failed here, this one failed here, and this one also failed here. So in that scenario, the out underscore 1 will be 1, and based on the outcome, like multiple failures in the decision table, we are getting this out as per our decisions that we have defined. So that is how this is working. Now let's change the value from multiple faults to single fault. Now as you can see, this sensor is okay, this sensor is okay, not having fault, but this is the sensor that is having the fault. And based on the truth table that we have, the A1 is the action which will send out 1. If there is no multiple faults, then the multiple faults flag should be 0. So that is why it is 0 now. Now let's make one of them 1, and now let's simulate it again. Now you can see there is 2 fault got activated, and the third sensor is not having any failure, but still we are getting the multiple fault as active because there is 2 sensors that is getting fault. So that's why we are able to see multiple fault being activated. So this is how you can implement multiple actions in one decision. So as we have already seen that we have taken different decisions, but there we have implemented different actions which will be taken care by the truth table, which will be taken care by the truth table. And this is how you can handle multiple actions, by taking single decisions in a truth table in Stateflow. In case you are liking the channel, please consider subscribing. In case you have any comment or query, please let us know in the comment box so that it will help us to improve your experience of learning MATLAB in this channel.